Good evening, parents and families, and welcome to the second session of Parent University. We're so excited to welcome you back. I'm Irma Lancaster, Director of Strategic Communications for the School District of Lee County. On today's program, we will tell you how to prepare your child for kindergarten. We'll give you great information on the upcoming flu season, and we'll show you a great fun activity on gardening for the entire family. All this and more on today's program of Parent University.
Good evening, parents and families. We are so happy to have you join us once again for Parent University. Participating in your child's education is key to their academic success. As a board member and a grandparent of students in Lee County, I personally value parent and family engagement. We hope that you find the topics presented valuable as we learn to support our students together. Thank you again for your participation.
We begin today's show with talking about kindergarten pre-registration, and to tell us all about that, we're really happy to have Soretta Ralph, Executive Director of Student Enrollment, with us here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm looking forward to sharing you information about the future class of 2034.
Oh, that's exciting. Woohoo, we're already talking about graduation. I have high hopes for this class. Now, we did get a lot of feedback from families that wanted to learn all about kindergarten readiness as well as how to register. So we are right in the middle of pre-registration.
Yes, we are.
So what is that process?
So it's a three-step process. We're right now pre-registering our students that will turn 5 by September 2021. Those students will be eligible to start kindergarten. So we want parents to have the opportunity to get the documents that are required entered so that we can get the information in our system. Then step 2 will occur in January. The parents will receive communication. They'll get a PIN number, and they'll be able to do their school choice application online so that they can hopefully get schools that are near their home or where they need their children to be. We also then would have the step 3 where the students will get the lottery results, and that'll occur in March.
Now we are in step 1. What are the deadlines for step 1?
So we're in step 1 right now, and it goes through November the 20th. And we want to make sure that all families are able to get that information in, because it's key right now, because many of our families that have children that are going to be starting kindergarten already have a child in an elementary school. We want to be able to connect those children, those siblings together, so they're in the same school if the parents want them to be.
Now you commented that there are certain documents required. What are some of those things parents need when they're going to register their children?
Thank you so much for asking. We have flyers that are available. They're on our website for parents to see. But in general, those documents are a copy of the birth certificate, parents' proof of address. We also need the parents' photo ID. Children need to have their immunizations or their shots updated at the health department and entered into the Florida shot system. We require a physical that's been completed for the child within the last 12 months. And then our last requirement is to complete a registration form. And all of that information is on our website.
So that's what I was going to ask. Do they register online? Do they come to the office? Do they call? What is the best way for them to do this?
Well, we want to continue to keep everyone safe, and we want to practice social distancing. So we would encourage parents to email the documents to us. We really like the use of our email, studentenrollment@leeschools.net. And we'll assign the parent to one of our enrollment specialists, and then they'll work with them to get all the documents entered. Parents are also welcome to come to our office at any time, but we do have social distancing occurring, so sometimes there's not quite enough room.
Do you require an appointment to come in because of social distancing, or is it just expect that you might wait if you come in person?
So I would suggest that parents just expect to sometimes wait if they come in person. We are closed from 12 to 1 for our lunch, and also to clean the office from the morning group. But we do not take appointments, I'm sorry.
Okay, so what if a parent already has a child enrolled in our district in one of the pre-K programs? Do they need to follow the same process?
So that is a great question. We have tried very hard to keep our pre-K students in the school that they're currently attending pre-K for kindergarten, but we encourage the parent to follow up to make sure that all the documents are updated, because oftentimes those students, their immunizations may need to be updated in our system, and we don't want something to flag because it's not entered correctly.
Great, great. Now we mentioned that this is pre-registration. Does that mean that there's going to be another registration? And if so, why do a pre-registration? What are the benefits to families?
So again, the pre-registration is to get the documents entered. The second part is step 2, the enrollment part. And that's when in January they'll get to do their choice application for their school selection. It's beneficial for families because they don't have to wait in line. They're going to be able to come in, email the documents to us, or come into the office, and they can again follow those social distancing guidelines. And it also gives them the peace to know that they have done it in a timely manner, and more than likely they're going to have a good chance of getting one of their top 3 schools.
It also gives them plenty of time to ask questions.
Sure.
I know a lot of times families get busy and sometimes they wait till the last minute, and then it can be additional stress if they're missing something. So anything additional that you want to mention to families that are considering registering their children for kindergarten in our district?
We just want to encourage families to do this. We usually enroll a little over 6,000 students for kindergarten, and the more students we can pre-register, that's going to help the families get their school of selection. It also helps the district to have an idea of the students that we have incoming, and it helps for planning within our schools. So really just encouraging the families to get this done. We're here to help them. Student enrollment at leeschools.net.
Well, thank you so much, Soretta, for being here. And now that we know how to register our children for kindergarten, how do we prepare them? When we come back, our colleague Alan Malloy will lead that conversation. But first, this message.
I kind of like to build these things as if I was building for my children. Let's get him a shirt. What is she in need of? Let's see what I have. Because I know that, for the children, it's a big deal.
This is the School Resource Center. This started late last year with a conversation with Dr. Ken Savage. If we had some space at the district office, we would be able to go ahead, fill this room with items for every student in need.
A lot of these students don't have enough money to get some stuff, so we try to provide them as much as we can.
We have clothes, we have shoes, hygiene products, school supplies, backpacks, lunch boxes. We have everything here. We're able to gather these items by the sizes that the child needs and get them out sometimes within 24 hours.
And it goes directly to the school, so the social worker or the counselor or the SRO will receive these.
We feel that each child should have the opportunity to feel good about themselves.
Today we have an 8-year-old third grader and a 9-year-old fourth grader we're gonna go ahead and fill up for. We need size medium, so I kind of give them a bigger size so they can have one of each. I throw in a couple of extra little things as well for them.
On behalf of the school board members and the superintendent, we would just like to thank United Way and the Price Foundation and so many other donors that are supporting this great impact for our students, not only in the school day, but on the weekends as well.
And that's one box.
Welcome, I'm Adam Malloy, Coordinator of Community Engagement, and today I'm here with Dr. Carol Frank, the principal of our own Early Childhood Center. Welcome and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, we're going to ask Dr. Frank some questions about how to get our little one ready for kindergarten. And I think that this is so important and so timely. We just had an episode, or we just had a little show on pre-kindergarten registration. I want to just brief comment on the importance of kindergarten readiness. So to you, what is that importance?
Well, the importance of kindergarten readiness is preparing our kids for kindergarten. And it's all about the development of the whole child. So it's the social emotional, it's the physical, it's the communication skills, it's the cognitive skills that we can build and prepare our kids for kindergarten.
That's fantastic. So I have a daughter who is going into kindergarten. What can I do as a parent to best get her ready for what she can experience academically in kindergarten?
Well, the best thing the parents can do is take 20 minutes a day. Talk with your child, read with your child, use those conversations to help build the language skills and the vocabulary, because what that does is it ignites the neural processes, the language centers in the brain, and it helps those kids gain literacy skills once they get into kindergarten.
Now, Dr. Frank, when I was doing some research on this, I saw that you guys have a number of helpful resources, including a student readiness calendar, activity plans for week by week. Those are just accessible through our website and on your school website?
Yes, and also we have many resources on the Florida Department of Education website. We also on our website have resources to help parents help their children be successful.
That's fantastic. I know that there's a kindergarten screening test. Are there any resources to prepare for that screening? I know you mentioned, the 20 minutes, the activities, the online resources. Is there anything specifically for that screening test that you would recommend as a resource to parents to get ready for that screening test?
The Department of Education has information and videos to help prepare families to help support their kid through the Flickers assessment. And so they have materials for parents, videos, practice tests. They have everything available to help the parents through that process.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Frank, for coming. I feel as a parent with a young child going into kindergarten much better supported with some of the resources that you mentioned. I'm still a little nervous, but I feel a lot more calm knowing that there's information out there to help me. So I want to turn it over now to Jason Sill and to Susie Hassett, who are going to be doing an amazing activity, also having to do with planting and growing, just like we are in the school district. So here's to you, Jason. We're excited.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching Parent University. We really hope you're enjoying today's program. And now it is time for my favorite part of the program, and that is our fun family activity that you can do at home. My name is Jason Sill, Coordinator for Multimedia Communications, and today I'm joined by Susie Hassett, Environmental Education Coordinator for the School District of Lee County. Susie, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for letting me come, Jason. This is going to be great.
Yeah, today's activity is really going to be fun. It combines food, which is one of my favorite topics, especially as we're getting closer to Thanksgiving here, and recycling, which is another important topic. Before we get started though, I know you were a teacher many years in the district, and no one is more passionate about our environment and keeping Lee County beautiful. So tell me a little bit about your role with the school district in environmental education.
Well, I have a great job because I get people outdoors so they can appreciate all the great resources around them. Usually I take people out on field trips, and we are still offering field trips in a special way now.
I saw you just last week, you were doing some virtual field trips down at Lover's Key. It was really fun and engaging.
I've learned how to be the reporter on location and zoom into the classroom from wherever I am. So I'm still trying to get people outside, and one of the best ways to get outside is by growing things.
Now you would think this time of year up north, it's harvest season, and so most people up north are actually bringing in their crops and bringing things that they planted over the summer in, but that's not the case here in Southwest Florida, and you say actually right now is a great time to start planting some of these things.
It is. So in our rainy season, it's really difficult because of the heat and too much rain and all the bugs. So this time of year is the best time to grow all these things that you like to see on your Thanksgiving table. So any of these things that you see out in front of us, we could plant at this time of year.
So the seeds that grow this produce here, where does that come from? Where do those seeds come from?
Well, those seeds are grown by the plant. So whenever you see a flower, it makes a seed. Everything you eat came from a seed that grew from a flower.
Okay.
How cool is that? So some plants obviously have the seeds inside, like your apple, but some plants you eat and you don't see the seed, like your lettuce.
Like lettuce,
So
exactly.
do you know what part of the plants you're eating when you eat these things?
I would think maybe the root.
All right, so when you eat your carrots or your beets, you're eating the root part of the plant, right?
Yep, okay.
So you're eating the bottom. The tops on the beets you can cook and eat too.
Okay.
And what about when you're eating your celery? What part of the plant do you eat?
The stalk or whatever. The
Yeah,
main
so
part of it.
this plant part, kids, you know, it's a stem.
Stem.
So that's where the roots would be, and they've cut it off. And you can see the leaves up here. So between roots and leaves, you got stems. So that's the part of the plant you eat then. So then when you're eating your lettuce, what part of the plant are you actually eating on this?
Well, it has to be the leaf, I think.
You're right. So there's a leaf that came off.
Okay.
So you can see where they cut off the roots there. So in lettuce, you're eating the leaves. And then when you eat your broccoli, what part of the plant are you eating?
The head of the broccoli.
So what is that?
I don't know.
It's
Hopefully
the
you can tell.
flower. You're eating flower
Flower.
buds. So
Okay.
you can see here, that's the stem, and you can see the leaves. So these are the flowers.
So that's considered a flower, just like a flower, like a
Yeah.
rose. Or, okay.
Isn't that
okay.
cool?
All
And you
right.
can eat lots of kinds of flowers. And then from the flower grows the fruit. So when you're eating your pepper, that's
Mm-hmm.
actually the fruit part of the plant. If you look inside it, you'll find out that there are seeds. So if it's
Wow.
got seeds
Yeah.
inside, that's the fruit part of the plant. So I could actually save these seeds, dry them out, and plant them and grow more peppers. So what about an avocado? What part of the plant is that?
So I know when you cut the avocado, there's a big seed inside, right? So that's what you would use to plant a new avocado?
Yep.
Okay.
And so what part of the plant do you think an avocado is?
Oh, the fruit.
Bingo! This guy. He's got it, man.
He's on fire.
So yeah. All right, so let's go on. So we talked about where plants come from, and plants come from flowers. So here's another good book, The Reason for a Flower. The reason for any flowers that you see are to make the seeds.
Okay.
So here is something that you don't see every day. This is lettuce, and these are the lettuce flowers that are making the seeds.
Oh, okay.
So you can save these, dry the seeds, and then you have seeds to plant. So
Susie, one thing I noticed too is we're talking about all of these things, you know, gardens, especially school gardens, they've really taken off. We've done a lot of stories here at Lee Schools TV
Yeah.
highlighting some of these school gardens. I know some of them are even implementing solar power, possibly at Island Coast, I
Yep.
hear.
Yep,
And so
they
how
have
many
it.
of our schools actually have school gardens in place now?
I tried to count, and there were about 40, and I'm sure that there are schools that I've missed. So a lot of folks have gotten into gardening, especially in this past year. And across the nation and worldwide, folks are realizing that they can eat in a more healthy way, and it's more healthy for the planet if you grow some of your own food. So you can save seeds like out of
Pumpkin
your
seeds.
squash or
Squash,
your
okay.
pumpkins. So you're gonna have lots of pumpkin seeds coming up. You just dry them out on a piece of paper towel, and then you can plant those, and those are nice and big, so they're easy to plant. So here's what the nursery is gonna use to grow the seedlings out, and they're gonna use some nice soil. But we can use something at home, so we might not have to buy this. We can use something with little sections like
Egg carton.
egg carton.
Fabulous.
And if you don't have soil, that's okay. You
Yeah, so
can-
normally you would put these in the recycling, or you know, recycle these,
Yep.
but now you can actually use these to plant at home. And are these for indoors then, or outdoors as well?
Either way.
Either way. Okay.
Either way. So all your plant's gonna need to grow is water, air, and sun.
Okay.
As long as it has those things, it can grow on a windowsill, it can grow in a container, it can grow in a shoe if you want,
Okay.
but it'll grow. So,
Wow.
and when they're sprouting, of course, the seeds are gonna be under soil usually. So it's okay for you have your lid closed, and that keeps the moisture in and protects your seeds and keeps them warm, because they do like to be warm to sprout.
So it's kind of like an egg almost. They can
Yeah,
eat
it's
an
all
egg.
protected,
Okay.
it is. It's the egg of the plant.
All right.
So good job. So you can use either one. You're gonna use something else instead of soil, and that's dryer lint.
We were just talking about dryer lint today.
Yeah, so this
Okay.
is mostly cotton, right? So it's all this fuzzy stuff. You can use cotton balls. So just take some sections and put them in your egg carton.
Sometimes I forget to clear out the lint with every load, so
Yeah,
now I have more of a reason to do it.
There you go. So
So you just kind of stick these like
you're
in
making a little nest
clumps?
for that
Okay.
little seed egg.
All right.
So that's gonna be real easy.
Very nice.
And
Like
then
a
what do
little
you
bed
want
for
to
the
plant
seed.
today, Jason?
What do I want to plant?
Yeah, what
let's
do you like
try
to
it.
eat?
Well, I like to eat peppers are a great thing that I really enjoy because I like my food a little spicy.
Peppers it is. Oh, you know what?
All right.
We do have some peppers.
Yes.
That will be tasty.
And I can grow any kind of pepper, right?
You can grow any kind of pepper you want, and in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and use some of these seeds.
Perfect, yeah.
We'll
Beautiful
just chuck
color
those
on that
right
one.
in there. Yeah, so the plant has to be mature for you to eat the seeds out of it. So you can just peel
Okay.
some of those seeds off, stick them right in there, they should go. I'm gonna go ahead and plant
And then again, about two or three?
sunflowers. Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Later on, you know, they would be too crowded to have 3 pepper plants all that close together. So you're gonna have to look for the strongest one and use scissors and snip off the other 2,
Okay.
just to let the plant have enough resources to grow, because they need water, sun, air, and space.
Space, okay.
Space is the other thing. So that's why it's important to have the right spacing. So I've got these big old sunflower seeds. I can put these
Yeah, I
down.
noticed that I tried to do some landscaping at home and I had my bushes, I think, just a little too close together.
Yeah.
So that might be what you're saying, is that you
Yeah,
have to
they're
give them
going to
some
be
space to.
fighting for the sun and
Yep.
trying to outcompete each other. So you just put your seeds in. Of course, if I have big sunflower seeds, I'm only going to put one per section. And then, if this is an experiment, we definitely have to label what we planted. And we have to measure how much water we're going to give each one. So you can do that in a couple ways. You can use your graduated cylinder and measure the same amount of water on each one, but I've got a sneaky way.
Okay.
Sprayer.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
much better. Okay.
yeah, it's really easy. Just
1, 2, 3,
do
4,
a certain number
5.
of sprays, then you know what you did, and then you know if it worked, that you did enough, and if it doesn't work, you better have done more. That's the experiment part. And then you'll just put your lid on. So here's your lid,
Thank you.
and then you're gonna leave it in a nice warm place to sprout.
Grow well, my baby seeds.
Yes.
See you in a week, and in a week I should probably have something to.
Absolutely.
All right.
So we were reusing the cartons, and now I'm going to show you one more thing. We are going to reuse some plastic drink cups and make our own personal hydroponic system.
No way.
So yeah, this is just some string or yarn,
Okay.
and you've got your drink cups, and you're going to make a little hole so you can pull your yarn through.
So hydroponics. Now, hydro is water.
Exactly.
Okay. So these
So you're
are.
growing plants with water.
Okay.
Now I could put just sand in here, and my plant would grow, and you can go ahead and put your water in the bottom cup.
All right. Trying to do a sound effect with water. I don't know if that came across.
Nicely done. And you're going to put a little soil in your top cup.
Okay. So what kind of soil? This is just.
It's some potting soil, so it
Potting
has
soil?
a mix
Okay.
of peat moss, and the little white bits are perlite. It's not styrofoam. A lot of people think that. It's a mineral called perlite, and it just lets the air get down to the roots.
Is that
so
good
that's
enough?
good. So
Okay.
instead of giving you a seed this time, I'm going to give you a cutting. So this is a cutting of a stem from mint, and you can see some little roots already growing on it right there. So we can even make this go farther
Okay.
by cutting it off just like this. You stick those roots right down in your soil. And then that string is going to pull the water right up into your plant.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, so water likes to stick together. And so those molecular forces pull the water right up.
Well, thank you so much again, Susie, for this activity today. It was really fun. Again, 2 green thumbs up. Hopefully now I can even go home and maybe do some planting with the family. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Hope you have some time to go home and do some of these fun activities with your home gardens as well. Now back over to Adam Wright.
Thank you, Jason. I am joined by Jean Meckes, an advanced practice registered nurse with the Florida Department of Health. Jean, thanks for being here on Parent University.
You're so welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So, if you haven't heard, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and on top of that, it's also flu season now.
It
So,
sure is.
Jean, true or false? Because we're in the middle of this pandemic, it's now more important than ever to get your flu shot.
Oh, most definitely. We don't want to overburden the hospitals any more than they already are by adding additional flu cases.
So, when is the best time? When should people be getting their flu shots?
Well, one of the promotions in one of the other counties is such as get your flu shot before Halloween. It takes about 2 weeks to activate. The flu shot is not instant, and the flu season starts to peak in December through February. So the earlier, the better.
So as soon as possible. If you haven't gotten it by now, go try to get one. Where can people get their flu shots?
Well, the health department does offer it. It is free for children ages 0 through 18. Ages 19 and adults can get it for like $16 and some change. Those that are at higher risk in the over 65 age group can also get it at the health department for a slightly higher fee. Many of the walk-in clinics are offering it, doctors' offices are offering it, CVS, Walgreens, Publix, all have promotions. A lot of times if you get your flu shot with them, they'll give you a discount. Okay? And most insurances will cover it.
Okay, so who should be getting a flu shot? Is there anybody who should not be getting? Is there any restrictions, or everybody?
The flu shot is indicated for anyone that is 6 months old or older, and there really aren't a lot of restrictions. A lot of times people over 65 may need a higher dose. It is indicated for pretty much anyone. Even those who have egg allergies can technically have the vaccine. They just have to be a little bit more cautious with the doctor's office with it, because that's often held people back before, saying, I can't get the vaccine, I'm allergic to eggs. But the vaccine is indicated for everybody.
Okay, so as we mentioned, we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. There are some similarities and some differences between COVID and the flu. Can you talk a little bit about the similarities and the differences, especially if there's a parent out there, if their child starts coming down with some flu-like symptoms and they're worried, I'm not sure if they have the flu or if they might have COVID-19. What are some of the similarities and the differences between the two?
Well, the similarities are cough, fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. The biggest difference that tends to be noted is that the COVID-19 virus tends to cause a loss of taste and smell. Since the symptoms are so similar, they need to be tested.
For COVID?
For both of them.
Yeah, for both, okay.
Because it's like if they test they don't have COVID, then they need to be tested to see if it's flu.
Okay. So if they have symptoms,
they need to be tested,
yes.
Correct.
Okay. Any other similarities or differences that are worth noting?
That's the problem. They are so similar. They are so similar. And that's why one of the things that most of the time they'll do is they'll rule out the flu and they'll rule out COVID.
So obviously, we're wearing masks. Everybody's washing their hands a lot right now. Other than getting a flu shot and washing your hands, wearing a mask, what are some other preventative measures that people can take to help prevent getting the flu, since we're talking about the flu, and to help prevent spreading the flu at a time like this?
It is pretty much the exact same precautions. It's less likely to be through contaminated items, like COVID, where we want to wash down everything because there is the ability to overlap and linger. The flu is a little bit less likely to be that way, but it is still through transmission of droplets. Okay, so it's covering your cough, washing your hands, wearing masks now because we're wearing, because of the pandemic, and basically distances of about 6 feet. So same precautions, same precautions.
What would you say to anybody out there who I know there are some people out there who are hesitant to get their flu shot, especially adults. What would you say to people who are hesitant to get the flu shot?
If you value your own life and you value that you do not want to spread your germs to somebody else, vaccinate. Okay? A lot of people say, I don't want to get the flu shot because it gave me the flu. That's an old fallacy. It's not true. The flu vaccine, any vaccine, can cause some muscle aches and fatigue and some what they call basically an inflammatory response, and sometimes a little bit of a fever. And so they figure, oh, I've got the flu shot gave it to me. If the person has gotten the flu shot and did actually develop the flu, they probably had it before they got the flu shot. It takes approximately 2 weeks for the flu shot to kick in. So when the 2 weeks between the injection and the symptoms, that means that infection was probably before they got the shot. And not everybody responds with complete immunity. It is basically a booster. And sometimes what happens is there's a different strain of the flu out there than the flu vaccine covers. But at the same time, it does increase your ability to fight it off and decreases the severity of the symptoms.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we wrap up?
If you value your old people in your life, protect them.
All right.
I didn't have this gray hair for nothing.
All right, well, Jean Meckes with the Florida Department of Health, thank you so much for being here on Parent University. Everybody stay safe out there. Now back to Irma and Adam.
Thank you so much, Adam Wright and the Florida Department of Health, for providing such important information for this flu season.
And thank you so much to all our guests that provided great information that we really hope our families all benefited from. And speaking of our families, we want to give a special shout out to the parents, or actually the schools that had most parents participating.
This was fantastic. Our first learning session, we got responses from over 70 schools, and we want to see that continue to grow. But some of our schools that provided the most responses were Lee Virtual, Raymond C. Page Elementary, Bonita Springs High, Challenger Middle, Gulf Elementary, and Riverdale High. We want to see some new schools move into that top ranking. And
Yep, and let's tell them how we participate. So we want to remind families that not only do you tune in to the program, we want to make sure that you RSVP beforehand and that you respond to our survey so that we know that you're retaining the information and you are benefiting from it and that you also want to see more. And so to make sure that we keep you coming back, we have a special prize that we told you about last time, and we are going to select from those people that completed the survey from the first session. Adam, what do they win?
So this is exciting, guys. Courtesy of board member Debbie Jordan, we have 4 gift cards to the Edison's Lab restaurant and bar in downtown Fort Myers.
That's right, $40 gift certificate to attend this place. And I hear it's a great place. I haven't been there yet, so I think they're gonna have a great time.
And we put every parent that responded to our survey, that filled out the registration form on our website, on a card that we're gonna draw right now.
All right, you wanna do the honors? Let's shake it up, let's shake it up. And the winner is?
Jamie Van Deventer from Patriot Elementary. Congratulations. We will get in touch with you on your email that you provided. We will also contact the school if we can't get a hold of you that way. And we surely hope that you will not only register, but also complete the survey.
Well, congratulations, Jamie, and thank you all for joining us once again for Parent University. We were so happy to have you. We will see you next time.
See you next time.